Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're talking about something huge, the death of the search bar. Seriously, we're moving way beyond just finding answers. We're entering a whole new era where our tools are basically becoming partners for our brains. And you know what? The battle for how they're going to do that, it's just heating up. All right, let's just jump right in with this quote because it's a big one. For more than 20 years, right, one company has basically owned how we find anything online. But that time is coming to a close. And what's taking its place? Oh, it's so much more interesting than just a fancier search bar. So that's the big question, right? If search is on its way out, what's next? And let's be clear, this isn't just about some new startup taking over. Nope. We're talking about a massive shift in how we even relate to information. We're going from just finding stuff to actually structuring our thoughts with these tools. Okay, so before we get to the new stuff, we've got to look back. We really need to understand the world that Google created. Because its entire philosophy didn't just shape tech, it shaped how an entire generation, probably you included, learned to think on the internet. You know the deal, right? For years, it was simple. You had a question, you typed it in, and boom, Google gave you a ranked list of links. The whole model was built on this idea of certainty. Like, the one true answer is out there, you just have to find it. And what decided what was true? Basically, popularity and authority. But here's the thing. All that speed, all that efficiency, it came with a price. I mean, who hasn't ended up with like 50 tabs open, just drowning in information but not really understanding any of it? We got really, really good at collecting links. But did we get any better at actually thinking? Probably not.
Okay, but now a whole new breed of tools is showing up to fix this. You've got your big LLMs like ChatGPT, of course, but you also have these specialized players like Perplexity, and then these two really interesting new approaches, OpenAI's Atlas and this other tool called Comet. And their goal, it's not just to give you links faster, no way. It's to completely change how you process information from the ground up.
And this is where things get really interesting. Take a look at this breakdown. It shows you the new lay of the land, and each of these tools plays a totally different game. Google, that's about finding and retrieving. Your browser, like Chrome, that's you doing the exploring manually. LLMs, they're for having a conversation. Perplexity is awesome for summarizing stuff with sources. And then we get to the two big new ideas we're really digging into. Comet, which is all about strategic thinking, and Atlas, which is like your personal context-aware assistant.
So here's the real takeaway. The question we need to ask is changing. It's not who has the best answers anymore. The real question, the much more important one, is which of these tools actually helps me think better, because each one is built on a totally different idea of how we should be working with AI.
And that brings us right to the core of it, the heart of this new era. The real fight isn't about who has more features. It's a clash of philosophies, a fundamental disagreement about how AI should partner with us. It really boils down to two concepts, the assistant versus the agent.
Yeah, check this out. This lays out the two different roads we can go down perfectly. On one side, you've got something like OpenAI's Atlas. Its whole goal is fluidity, just making everything you do smoother, easier, more seamless. And on the other side, you've got Perplexity's Comet, and its goal is clarity. It actually forces you to be more structured, more deliberate in your thinking. So let's talk about Atlas. Think of it like the ultimate co-pilot, right? It's right there with you, it knows what page you're looking at, and it'll pop up with helpful suggestions. The goal is for it to be almost invisible. It should just blend into your workflow so seamlessly that it feels like an extension of your own brain. Comet, on the other hand, is the total opposite. It's not invisible at all. It's a very visible partner. It's an agent that goes out and does things for you. And it doesn't just guess what you want. Oh, no. It makes you spell it out. It'll ask you to clarify your criteria, and then it'll go to work across all your tabs, comparing, contrasting, putting it all together for you. It's assertive. It gives you direction. And this quote just nails the difference. Google answers. Comet forces questions. Atlas adapts. It's perfect, right? Google just gives you answers. Atlas adapts to what you're doing. But Comet challenges you. It makes you ask better, sharper questions from the get-go. Okay, so if tools like Comet are demanding better questions from us, what does a better question even look like? Because we're talking about a whole new skill here. This is way, way beyond just typing a few words into a search box. Well, there's actually a name for it, the asymmetric questioning model, or AQM. And please, don't just write this off as another fancy term for prompt engineering. It's not. It's a total shift in how you think. You stop asking what is, and you start asking things like, what if, or where does this whole idea fall apart? Your goal isn't just to get an answer anymore, it's to find the friction, to uncover the hidden patterns.
And it's not just random, it's a structured process. You basically give the AI a new job title. You throw in a contradiction for it to chew on, you lock it into a specific context, you add some rules to cut out the noise, and then you tell it exactly what kind of insight you're hoping to find. You're not just asking for facts, you're engineering a new way to see the problem.
Okay, let's make this real. A normal prompt would be something like, list my competitors' strategies. Kind of boring, right? Now look at an AQM prompt. See the difference? It's not asking for a simple list. It's asking the AI to simulate a whole scenario, to figure out the hidden strategic thinking behind a rival's success. The real value here is in the creative tension that kind of question creates. Okay, that's the theory, and it's super cool. But how do you actually use this stuff day to day? Like, which tool do you pick for which job? All right, let's get practical. Think of this as your new toolkit. Need a quick facts, like right now? Yeah, Google's still your guy. Want a solid summary of an article with all the sources lined up? Perplexity is fantastic for that. But what if you need to really dig in and compare the pricing pages of 3 different competitors? That's a job for an agent like Comet. And if you're, say, planning a weekend trip and want an AI that helps you along the way, an assistant like Atlas is going to be your best friend. So you see the pattern here? The big shift is this. You're not just picking a search engine anymore. You are consciously, deliberately choosing a thinking partner. And the right partner depends completely on the job you're trying to do. Are you just finding something, summarizing, doing a deep structured analysis, or do you just need some smooth, fluid help? Each one requires a different tool. And I absolutely love this metaphor for Comet. It's Excel for non-numerical thought. Think about that. You don't use Excel to find answers, do you? No, you use it to build models, to play with variables, to test what-if scenarios with numbers. Well, Comet lets you do the exact same thing, but with ideas, with arguments, with strategies. It's a game changer. Which brings us to the biggest change of all, and it's about you. Your role in all of this is changing. You're no longer just a passive clicker scrolling through links. With these new tools, you're becoming more like a conductor of an orchestra. You're the one strategically directing these AI agents to carry out complex thinking tasks for you.
That's the promise right there. We're moving from navigation to cognition. From just getting answers to getting help making decisions and taking action.
So we'll leave you with this. The big question isn't how do I use a tool like Comet? The real question is how do I think with a tool like Comet? Because this whole revolution, it's not really about the tech. It's about us. The real challenge and the huge opportunity is figuring out how to think alongside these new partners to become clearer, sharper, and just plain smarter.